All right, I'm gonna go over a few squat cues and a little bit of technique for you. We're gonna go over the hinge, and we're gonna go over feet placement, how to have your feet, how to push your knees out, how to open up your groin area, things like that. So I'm gonna show you with the SSB bar because I just finished working out and I was using the SSB bar, so I'm just gonna leave it there. But everything, the same technique with every bar. No matter what bar you're using, SSB, straight bar, Duffalo bar, camber bar, any bar you use, the squat technique does not change. Wide stance, narrow stance, squat technique is pretty much the same. So the hinge, all you're doing before you squat down, you're breaking at the hips first. So what that looks like is when you squat, you get your brace and you do a small hinge before you descend. A lot of people will overhinge. They'll like go into a good morning. That's too much. You'll get your brace and your hinge should be this. Your brace, here's your hips. When you hinge, you simply go boom. And all you're doing is you're bending at the hips. You're breaking at the hips. So you're here, hinge, and then descend. When you start to descend, you want to make sure you're pushing your knees out. Let me show you. So, also let's go over this. Before you unrack the bar, a lot of people will unrack like this. They'll unrack really close together. You want to have your feet under the bar for about the same distance as you're going to be standing when you squat. So your walkout will be more efficient. So let's say shoulder width, right? Unrack. 1, 2, 3. You want to limit your steps on your walkout as much as possible to save energy. Like 3 to 4 steps is all you should be taking. A lot of people will unrack and they'll be like, they'll do all this, and then they'll like wiggle their feet. Like look how much the bar is moving. And when you have 500 pounds on the bar, 300 pounds, whatever, it's all moving your body and you have to stabilize that weight. And that's going to waste a lot of energy. So, best thing for you to do, get your feet where you want them. Unrack, step, step, step. And you're good. You're trying to not move as much. Trying to get into position with as little effort as possible. Now, the hinge, also your feet, you can see my feet, instead of being straight, turn your toes out. Instead of being straight like this, because when you squat, your knees are going to buckle, right? You don't want your knees to buckle. Turn your feet out like that. That way, your knees are going to follow your toes. And when your feet are turned out, that's also going to automatically engage your hamstrings and your glutes. So you're going to brace, feet turned out, brace, hinge, boom, descend. Right there, fire up. When you fire up, drive back and push up. Even if your hands are like back on the bar, on a straight bar, you can still drive up with your hands and drive your upper back into the bar. What I mean is when you come up out of the squat, when you're down, when you come up, drive back. So you're here, you come up, drive back. The SSB bar is a really good tool to demonstrate and make you have to drive back because the weight is higher on your back and your neck. And it's supposed to be like that. It's just a training tool. So let's go over the steps, okay? Alright, so get set, get your bar where you want it, put your feet about the same distance as your stance, and rack. Before you step, make sure you're not moving, make sure everything is stabilized. You're here, step, step, step. Good, okay? My feet are turned out, my knees are facing out towards my toes. Big breath. Hinge, boom. Boom. Hinge, squat, drive back. If you don't drive back and there's a lot of weight, you're gonna come down. If you don't drive back against the bar, you're gonna do this. And it's gonna be extremely hard for you to get that squat. So when you come out of the hole, drive back, push up. Boom. Just like that. Make sure your feet are out. You don't have to be like crazy. Just, here's your feet slightly out, where your toes are pointed out. That way your knee, my thumb is my knee, right? My toes are pointed out. Your knee's gonna follow that angle. That way when you squat, your knees follow out. Makes it a lot easier for your for your groin area to open up, for you to get deeper into the squat. Slight hinge, just right there, just boom, that's all you need. You don't have to over exaggerate, just boom, right there. Descend, when you come up, drive up and back. You have weight on your back, that's gonna be like a counterbalance. It's not gonna let you fall backwards. You're gonna drive back, it's gonna go straight up. Practice that.